Hello everyone, my name is Zinziposha Pakai. This segment is called QGIS Beginner's Guide, how to successfully export your QGIS project. So yeah, let's get right onto it. Okay, now that my colleague has shown you how to play around with different map elements on QGIS and different options on QGIS, I will show you how to create a map layout. So when it's going out for print, so you click on the new print layout icon on your ribbon and you give it a name, primary healthcare facilities. So this is a unique name for your map layout. And then this window opens. When you right click onto that square, you see the page properties option, and you can change the size of your page, orientation, width, height. I want to change mine to an A5 and I'll leave it as a landscape. And I want to zoom in, make this full. So you can add your map in two ways. You can go to add item where you add the map, or you can click on that add map icon that shows here, and then you draw the square. Perfect. So because I want to add more map elements, I'll just leave this as that, and let me change the scale because I want it to be bigger. So the smaller the scale, the bigger the map. Okay. City of 20. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Now all my local municipalities are showing. I don't want to change the scale because then it is not going to show the other local municipalities. For some reason they disappear. If I make it larger than this, that is. Now that I've added my map, I just want to create a frame around my map so that it doesn't look weird. Like to box everything. So go back to my item properties, scroll down to the frame option, tick the frame box. Perfect, it's there. So next up, I'd like to add a legend to my map. So you go back to add item, add legend, and you draw it on your. Okay, so it adds all the layers that are on my initial project, and you have an option to name your legend. Give it a name. You can specify and when you go to fonts and text formatting, you can change the font. I want to make it bold. I want to keep mine at size 12. Perfect. And then yeah, that's my legend. Secondly, I would like to add a north arrow orientation. So you go to add north arrow and you draw it. And then I think this is like the default that they have. But then when you click on those three dots on the right hand side, you can add an image. You can add an image of choice. It should be saved onto your desktop though. And then I want to resize it and place it in the middle. So make it smaller. Okay. Sure. Yeah. I'd also like to add an inset map so you guys, or the viewers, or the audience rather, has an idea of where South Africa is and where Gauteng is exactly. Where is it located in South Africa? So in order for me to do that, I have to lock my layers. So you go back to the map one that you already have, and you scroll down to layers and you lock your layers, so that any changes that you make on the initial map or your initial project don't affect the map that you already have or already inserted here. I also want to lock the styles for my layers, and then I can go back to my original map. So here on my inset map, I just want to show where Gauteng is. So I can zoom into the South African layer, and that's where Gauteng is. I changed the color to orange. You can label it, and you go to your labeling styles, layer labeling options, single labels, and you change the value. So it's ADM1EN, that's Gauteng. Can make it, can draw a buffer around the text, or you can use you can draw callouts. So if that's the option you're going for, you go back to that icon and you move. Okay. Okay, and you move. Put it here. Put it here. So it moves it outside of Gauteng. The line can increase the width of the line, and then you can always change the font of your label, make it bold, and increase the size. Okay. Okay, I think I'm done. And then you go back to your, so again, add item, add map. Remember the styles and the layers were locked for the main map, so there won't be any changes to the main map. Perfect, my inset map. I'm happy with the scale, and I want it to be the project coordinate reference system. And I also want to put a frame around it. I mean, you can have multiple maps on one layout, so it's really up to you. Moving on, I want to add an image just to show that this was done in QGIS. So you go to add picture, you draw your box, make this. Okay, and then image source, you click on the three dots, which will take you to the folders onto your desktop, and you have to load an image that's already saved. And I think this is the one. Perfect. Also want a frame around it. Let's make it smaller. And I want it to be at the center. Position and size. Placement, sorry. You have under main properties, you go to placement and put it at the center, which is middle. I'm happy with that. Let me just resize my north arrow. Just move my legend down a bit. Yeah. Can we make this smaller without ruining? Okay, yes. That's good. Okay. Now I want to add a coordinate system. Add item, add label, and you draw your box. And then you have an option to write coordinate reference system is WGS 84 UTM zone 35 south. Right there. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So I also wanted, do I want it to be around the frame though? I guess I can put a frame around it. And I just want to increase the width of my legend so that it's in line with all the other elements. So go to position and size, width, and ta-da! That's it. Well, you can add a scale bar. It's good practice. And just have a smaller one there. Can I put it at the center? Does it have placement? Yes. Can move it around. I think everything looks good to me. So when you are done with your map and you're happy with how everything turned out, you can either save it as a PDF file, click on that icon there, or you can save it as a JPEG image. So PDF option, my go-to option, and you rename it. Plot. You format. Always export. Yes, yes, yes. Well, I am going to accept the default. Save. So yeah, guys, here is the final product. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more.